Hello.
Hello, welcome back.
There's something I realized as we went away. Something I realized as we went away is like the backgrounds are actually specific things. So there's a squiggles background. So behind here is a background, and then you set the stage.
I'm not sure where here is.
Oh yeah, because you can't. I can't share that because that would make no sense. On the stream, there's a background, and then you set the stage for how the layout is, and you can put stuff in and pull it back out again, right? And there's a scribbles thing, which is what we currently have. And then the be right back is also a background, and you just unstage everything. And that's how it works.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You see, folks, we are learning. We are learning. Welcome back, everyone. We will make, just like a short note, we will be here for another 30 minutes, and then we're gonna take a break. For some, that might be lunch. For others, it just might be a break. So we have an update on the issue we had on Discord, and it turns out, I just like say what they wrote on Discord. It turns out bundle exec RSpec are all green, while failures all come from bundle exec appraisal RSpec. So that's interesting. And they're gonna take a look at what uprising does. Nick, person of the hour. What do you think?
Cool. So what that's doing is...
Sorry, just like 1 second. I didn't want to put you on the spot.
That's fine. That's what I'm here to do. No, so appraisal lets us run multiple different gem files in against the project. It's the source of several problems occasionally. I also maintain it, so they're also my problems to solve.
We can also check the issue per se. Oh, that's the first one, screenshot. And it says undefined method delete for nil clause. Any other advice on that one, or?
Yeah, I just responded with what I would do, which is just to run them all individually and see which one's actually failing. So, because what it's doing is running against about 6 different gem sets. And so depending, one of them might be failing, but the rest of them might be okay. I generally generally rely on CI to catch these problems because it's really annoying locally. And part of that is an appraisal problem. So like you'll notice here that like there's loads of changes. Oh, profiling stuff going on. See, these gem files have changed, for example. So, oh yeah, because if you add anything, it'll add them into those as well. But
something I really, really miss while not working with Ruby on Rails is just when I run tests, it's just like so structured. You know, you see the failures, you have a fairly good chance that the error message tells you what's wrong. But then when I go back to jest, what do you call it? Jest? Yes, jest?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it's just like, it's different, I would say. So, yeah. Which should not hold you back from writing tests even when you work with JavaScript, especially when you work with JavaScript, I would say.
We lost it.
You lost it. Oh, why did we lost it? Just like,
oh, that's fun.
You kicked your screen.
Maybe.
What's the general meaning about writing tests? And this is not a trick question. It's, yeah. But if someone wants to write something, either here or in Discord, I don't mind. Do you practice TDD or not? Why the one or why the other?
Oh, maybe.
Would you like to change it? Can you explain in the meantime what you're doing, Nick?
I've just been replicating again. I'm getting the same thing. I think that, yeah, let's do that. I wanted to see if we would get, I would get the same thing because it does look familiar. And I think it's one of the, yeah, it's one of them is a problem.
I mean, we like problems, right? I mean, that's our job. Yeah. Okay, so grade 60 all fails. Grade 61 and grade 71 are both green. Nice. By the way, thank you so much for the engagement. It's really nice. Okay.
I'll get my screen back in a minute. In the right place, yeah. It's Chrome driver.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't like it?
It's honestly ridiculous that they won't co-sign it.
Yes, this is a secret command, right? Secret, it's a joke, right? That you always have to run, like whenever something goes wrong. With a Chrome driver, you always have to install it. Good find. Nice. For the ones who are only here, not on Discord, there's a discussion around it, around what Nick just tried to fix. Nice. Anyone else has it set up already, or did try? Nick's script, or has question about Administrate in general. After the break, we will dive deeper into a specific issue. Yeah.
I wonder what that needs to fix it.
Sorry, what?
I'm thinking about this sprockets problem. Maybe it is sprockets, but what would we do to fix this one? I wonder.
I will try to move you now to this screen so I can actually read what you're sharing. Oh, there. Okay.
Because we could add sprockets in there. Oh, I don't know.
Why do you think it could be sprockets?
Because that's what's been suggested.
Okay. In
Discord, yeah.
Okay. Let's check.
We're going to look at C, where that is. So environment 5 is just Rails initialized. That's not very helpful. It's just loading Rails. Yeah, I know where that trace is. That's not helpful, is it?
No.
Now, does this work correctly on CI is the question.
And I just said, like, I miss the useful error messages. Sorry for that.
Because we did drop some, maybe more implicitly than explicitly. I did drop some support for stuff. Main. No, we do run that. We only run that on older
Ruby versions. Huh.
Because it's not supported.
What Ruby version are you using? And I will try to do it again to pronounce your name correctly. Chikyang.
I try with that. That's cool.
What are you trying? Switching Ruby versions?
I can't interact with my terminal right now.
Nice.
Ah, there we go. It's the streaming setup is the problem. And what did we need to run? Less than 3.
.322 they use. But didn't you say that that it only runs in.
Oh, you don't like that? That's exciting. That work. Yeah, so those older versions of Rails will only work with the older versions of Ruby. And it might not be happy about this. So install bundler 2.4.22 in 3.2.7. This is always a pain. Yeah, we're going to have to con you into thinking you're running on CI to do that. There we go. Hey.
Nice. So just if someone joined here, we're still working on setting up Administrate. There were some issues when you run the test with appraisal, and yes.
How do I make you believe you're doing the right thing? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't know how to do that off the top of my head.
Sorry, what are you trying to do?
I was trying to run them locally for Rails 6. I don't think we can do it without and we can't, and I know the reason we can't do this, because of the way appraisal works, it captures certain environment variables and resets some of them and stashes the others and resets them. So if I provide CI true,
okay,
it will probably discard it, like appraisal itself, and that's why that's not working. And I don't think we can do this without like running in Docker or something, which I do not really want to do. But the broad example is that you can't run the full appraisal set at the moment, and I don't think that's really that much of a problem. It's just because of the Ruby version issue. Oops. What changed though? That's interesting. Oh, not much. Yeah, okay, sure. So yeah, the short version I will write. Oh, yeah, I've got to change that back. Ruby 3.22 because we don't really have to worry about it too much, keeping it up to date.
So why did you run CI true in the first place?
because one of the frustrating overrides we've had to do is that we want to specify the Ruby version for running on Heroku. So in the gem file, we specify Ruby 222, but once you've done that, if you have a different Ruby version that you're using, it won't match correctly, which is a bit of which it will go bang. But unfortunately, Heroku require it. So what we end up doing is we have unless env CI exists, then it doesn't run that line of code.
So you just like write on Discord for the folks who are not on Discord, that you wouldn't worry too much about running the whole appraisal suite because we can trust the CI, and that one solution could be, well, the solution that makes the most sense is to probably drop support for RAID 6.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's actually out of support already.
I don't know. We can check that. Or someone can shout if they want.
Because once we do, I can just, so I typically try and keep supported versions to be broader than is supported by Rails, because the maintenance burden is not that high to keep old stuff running from an administrator perspective. And there's nothing worse than trying to upgrade an old Rails app that's running a gem that is forcing you to upgrade really early. So hence I don't drop support for stuff as quickly as other projects do. It's to try and make life easier. So we just run tests against it and it's fine. To go back a little bit and explain that whole CI thing. So I've highlighted it in here, which makes it awkward to read, but it's not impossible. So we specify Ruby 322 broadly for the purposes of Heroku, unless CI is defined or unless diff check appraisal is defined, or the other way around. If the logic for this was horrible to write, I had to sit down in an ERB console and just sit and play around with it for a while. Yeah, so it's the opposite definition there. If CI is defined, it doesn't define it. But if diff check appraisal is defined, but CI is defined, then it does specify the Ruby version. Because that made for other problems, that's why. And diff check is a GitHub action that I wrote that means that we can find changes to the repository. I wrote it last year. It's worked pretty well on here so far. The intent is to see when there's, say, a run on. If dependabot bumps a dependency, it should cause one line of CI to fail, which then tells you to go and update that dependency in the appraisals, because dependabot can't do appraisal updates themselves. And that's the purpose of that. I'm looking to roll it out to solve a similar but slightly different problem where we want to be able to catch build changes in the JavaScript. So one of the big changes in attempted publishing the gem with compiled assets that Elias did is that now we bundle all of the JavaScript in the package. The problem with that is that anytime you make either dependency changes or other like minor JavaScript changes, they need to be bundled inside the build directory, which we ignore typically. but it means that if you like run or update stuff now, if you run the app, like run the example app, you'll get loads of writes to your local environment, which is really frustrating to develop with. So I've got a PR open there to try and solve that, which we won't get to today, I imagine, but yeah, I opened this. Where are you? Here. So it's a little action that runs build and build CSS. So build the JavaScript and then build the CSS. And then it will fail in the situation where there's changes. So if we look into this, it will tell you that these files changed. And it writes them there, but also if you look at the summary, it will do it there as well, which is kind of nice. So the one change I need to make here is to prompt you what to do, because it doesn't actually tell you what to do really. Yeah, we'll put the CSS and JavaScript files in the builds on all changes. So kind of a fun little thing I've been trying to do. I've been trying to automate as much of these steps as possible, because it's easier to
what about the short-term solution? I'm always worried that I pronounce your name wrong. I love the name of the sound of the name. But what about the short-term solution they propose? And we never mind if someone wants to help, so don't worry. We're always happy. You can always join the chat, but maybe we can do that after the break. How do you feel about that, Nick and
Steve? Yeah, that'd be good. Let's do that. So we've got 3 minutes basically until we should probably take a proper break and go and have some lunch.
Yes. And the dogs want to take a walk. I have to take the dogs for a walk. Yes. And then when we come back in we just said an hour.
Well, that does that. That's exciting.
Oh yeah, that's what I tried. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, what I want to do is copy it. I want to copy the content because I think it's actually really interesting. But I can't do that. How frustrating. Anyway.
Yeah. Can you? Oh well. Oh, you can't. You can delete it. What's that?
Yeah.
How's that?
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect. Oh, a magical Sarah showed up and
Ooh, thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, let's do that. Like when we are back in an hour, we will have a new folks joining this call. I really enjoy it so far. Pretty nice. Really nice that you're also open, and yeah, it's nice.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, we'll be back in an hour.
Yeah. See you then. Bye.
See you then. Bye.